Hey everyone, Rob Franick, Editor-in-Chief here at the Princeton Review. Now, if I were to tell you that my name is Rob Franick, Editor-in-Chief at the Princeton Review, you would straight up 100% not believe me, and you'd be 100% correct not to believe me. So friends, today's segment, the next installment of our Get Grammatical series, we're going to focus on all important quotation marks, when to use them, how to use them, what they mean, and definitely what they don't mean. So let's jump right in and get started. Of course, the most straightforward type of quotation is the direct quote. That involves incorporating someone's exact words into whatever you're saying or writing. For example, let's say that you're writing about your school's soccer team. You might include a quote from the coach, such as, after the game, the coach exclaimed, quote, "Great job fighting for that last goal," end quote. Now that's of course a good example of a direct quote, and as such you would need to use quotation marks. And of course in American English that means using double quotation marks. Now let's say that your coach quoted someone else while speaking to the team, and you, with all due journalistic integrity, wanted to capture both the quote as well as the quote within the quote. In that case, you'd want to put double quotation marks around the entire quote, and then single quotation marks around the quote within the quote. So here's a quick example. Double quotes. "Great game. The rival coach even told me," single quote, "I'm so impressed by your players." So that's a single quote followed by a double quote with the period on the inside. Now, there's also something else called an indirect quote. That is when you reference or you paraphrase what another person said. And for indirect quotes, folks, this is so important. You do not need quotation marks at all. So for example, if you were to write, "The soccer coach congratulated the team and said that she really admired how they played." Now in that instance, you would not need any quotes because you're paraphrasing rather than directly quoting the coach. Now, here's where things start to get a little tricky. Would you believe it if I actually told you that quotation marks are sometimes used when there's no actual quote involved? Well, folks, believe it. For starters, let's think bibliographies. When you write bibliographies, you include quotation marks around the title or the compositions or short works like poems or chapters or articles. And once again, those instances, those bibliographic instances, you would also use double quotation marks. Next, you may also use quotation marks when you're including a translation in a sentence. For instance, he said adios, goodbye, when he left. Quick side note, for a translation, like my easy example, single quotes are generally preferred. Then there are uses of quotes that are not earnest, as in our other quick examples today in our segment. Let's revisit the scare quotes that the beginning of the video here focused on. Scare quotes, sometimes referred to as shudder quotes, are typically intended to indicate an ironic or skeptical view. Now, they can also imply a belief that a term is being misused or that the writer actually intends the opposite meaning of the word in quotes. Here's a quick scare quote example in action. "Why, yes, the roller coaster ride was really relaxing." The scare quotes make it clear that I, the speaker, do not, in fact, find roller coasters relaxing when riding them. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of today's video. I hope, as always, that you enjoyed watching. No scare quotes involved. And if you did, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on our Get Grammatical series and much, much more from the Princeton Review. Also, if there's a topic or a question that you'd like us to cover, then please do leave us a comment. And as always, again, thank you so much for watching. Be well. See you here the next time.